Thank you. This morning, Burlington School District Superintendent Obeng announced after 5 years as superintendent, he's stepping down. Obeng said after months of conversations, he has decided to pursue other opportunities. We follow up now as Obeng joins us live tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So starting off here, you wrote that you were contemplating making this announcement later in the year, in January. Why make that announcement now?
Well, I've been sort of thinking about, where we've been, where am I going next? And I've had an opportunity. I put out a communication around a community engagement project, and I've had the last several months to engage with community partners, talk to students, talk to staff around what are we doing, what kind of partnerships we can establish. And I felt really good about where we were. If you look back when I first came into the district, there were a lot of challenges. And I came into stalled negotiations. There were issues around safety, some racial tensions. There were achievement gaps, and there were suspensions in particular to students of color. And so we went ahead and tackled those initiatives, and I think we've addressed all those areas to a certain degree. And now we have to look at the next step. And the work that we've done, sort of establishing structures and processes in our central office, and then looking at the school level, makes me feel confident that this is a good time to look at a transition. It's either that, or I think about, okay, do I make my next commitment for the next 5 years and develop a new strategic plan with the community and do that? But one of the pieces that I would say is that what's really influenced me is that we just recently became empty nesters in the past year, and that's given us an opportunity to reflect on, hey, where's the next adventure and where can we go? And now we can make some choices in our future that doesn't impact our children. So that's, so a number of different pieces that come into play in terms of making that decision.
So it sounds like this was your decision. It wasn't an issue with the school board not renewing your contract necessarily.
No, absolutely. And I'd say the board's been very supportive. When I indicated that I was, reflecting on this, they were supportive in terms of where I wanted to go. Of course, they wanted me to continue on. That's why I kind of made the announcement now rather than later, because I wanted to give them the opportunity to start the process and engagement in terms of developing a process for a superintendent, and also work with our staff to do that. Because I know when I came in, there was at least a year and a half, 2 years without a superintendent in place, and that really hurts a district in terms of doing that. So I wouldn't want to see that happen again in terms of a transition.
Now, you've mentioned some challenges that you faced while you were here, working through some of them with the district. Now, the school board has also been at odds through some of that. What do you see for the future of the leadership in the district?
Yeah, I think, if I look at the school boards, they all behave in similar ways in terms of when people get on the school board, they get on with passion about a particular item or a particular thing. And then as they start to find their legs, they understand what their role is in terms of a systemic approach in addressing those issues. And I see that happening with our board in terms of now sort of coalescing and thinking about, okay, strategically, where do we want the district to see in the next 5 years or the next 4 years? The challenge we have, it's electoral process, right? So you could have a change of new school board members, and then you have new people who have to relearn. So hopefully some structures will be put in place at the board level to sustain the priorities and initiatives that they implement for future board members.
Is there anything that you would have done differently during your term, or maybe another question here, something that you'll take with you out of this for your next step?
Yes. I think, you can always reflect after every initiative or any sort of situation. You reflect and you think, okay, I could have done this maybe a little better, I could have done that. And it all depends on the context, right? And I think about the different situations, it depends on the context. And sometimes you have to make a decision and kind of live with it, because you're not going to find an elegant solution for everyone, right? But one of the things I would take away, I would think that I really appreciated the level of discourse that individuals had on any issue. There'd be a range of opinions. And so I really learned to really reflect on that and be more patient around trying to understand people on the left and the right and in the middle, and trying to come up with a way to try to express why we're doing it. And I think that's something I've learned.
All right. Yeah, Obeng, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
For those of you watching at home, if you ever want to rewatch stories or our interviews or follow updates